And it's been blocking the cave ever since for about 16 metres, 50 feet. Well, how does Smarty Pants Chris know that? Because those people in the Victorian times, cavers, you have anybody caving here? Crazy people, I don't know why you want to do it. They were trying to get through to the other side. And for them, the most logical way to go was to follow the river. It's never stopped the river coming through. Why? Because the river's always eroding down through the rock. So their logic was, if they followed the river through that way, they could get through to the rest of the cave to see what's just on the other side of that wall, basically. But it was too dangerous. They didn't have the technology or the equipment or the time to get through there. It's very dangerous. If you've ever played Jenga, you know Jenga? Yeah. That's playing Jenga with your life. Within the ancient rockfall, rocks are falling too. In about 1930, they just gave up trying. It was too dangerous. What a shame. Because what's on the other side there? But they didn't give up completely, because when they stopped going that way, they went up that way. And over the years, they've blasted through a little cave's passage of 10 metres. The distance to get through to the rest of the cave is where we're stood to where their next series of scaffolding pipes is, about 6 metres. And do you know when they're going to get through there? It's so soon, it's going to be within our lifetime, in the next 4 years. Wow. By the time some of you are growing up, they're going to be through there. But if you're wondering if you're going to be going through there when you're growing up, no. No. Only if you're a caver, that's really. So what's going to be there? And that's so exciting to realise that this, you know, the river's started there 2.5 million years ago and it's done all of this. You have to realise that then there must be more cave beyond that rockfall. So that's what's been driving them on. Anyway, we couldn't wait another 25 years. 20 years ago, we used a technology that archaeologists use. We did on the surface of the land a ground-penetrating radar scan. Archaeologists use it, it's like a pram with no wheels. It's an apparatus that scans the soil, looking for buildings below the soil. We used the same apparatus up in the woodlands there, but we were looking for something. We had the rock. They were looking for the space in between, cave space. And because they didn't know which way the cave was going to twist and turn, they had to scan the land. No. Scan the land. No. Scan the land. No. Luckily, they found it at the 7th scan. They were scanning over the cave space, the other side of the rockfall. And they drilled a hole down through the rocks, sent a light and a GoPro camera down, only 20 years ago. For the first time since human beings have walked this earth, they could see the other side of that rockfall. Wow. What do you think they saw? Well, I don't think they saw dinosaurs, that's for sure. You're absolutely right, dinosaurs. Yeah, the rockfall cave. Now, the camera equipment and the torches were all suspended, fed through from big long ropes, so it couldn't move forwards, because you can't dangle a rope down and make it go forward. But that didn't matter, they could look around. If they were in this side, it looks like this on the other side. It looks exactly like this, same width and same size and everything. So it's just like this with no light in it. So they could look around and around, backwards and forwards, seeing things that no human has ever seen before. What a treat! And they called that space there the 7th heaven. I think that's really romantic, because they found it after the 7th scan. When the camera looked back on itself, it saw exactly the same rockfall. But on that side, the river's leaving it, whereas this side, the river's coming out. But when they turned the camera around and looked up the cave, the size of it there, and the sound as it travelled back through the system, knowing where they were on the hill there and the open moorland, they were able to measure the distance between the moorland and that part of the cave there. And they think there is nearly 2 kilometres of cave beyond that rockfall. That means 5 times what I've just brought you now. So it's in, out, in, and out again. That's what's on the other side. So how many more of these amazing things are going to be on the other side? And that's what's driving them on. And we're soon going to find out in the next 4 years. Wow. Now, of course they recorded it, because 20 years ago, we stuck all the technology out, but 20 years ago, we've got a lot of technology now. And they gave it a lovely name, 7th Heaven, and using probably the biggest invention of many eras, the internet. They very kindly shared 3 minutes of it with you and I, the internet generation. So when you get back to your computers or your devices, just visit our homepage, which is simply called poolscavern.co.uk. And on the homepage, you know the homepage, you there, scroll all the way down, till you feel like you're in the sculpture chamber. And when you're in the sculpture chamber of the, this is what this chamber's called, when you're in the sculpture chamber of the homepage, you'll see loads of little links to click on. Wow. One of those links, you can be your own tour guide. There's a virtual tour. Yeah, you can tour yourself through the cave and spot all of these chambers I've just shown you. The other link for this one isn't called Seventh Heaven. They've named it Unexplored Chambers. Boring. So don't look for Seventh Heaven. It's only 3 minutes, and it's a black and white GoPro camera, and I think someone's playing some pretty nice mood music on the other side. I say you'd never know. You just never know what's on the other side. And that's where we've come to this date. We've come very far, haven't we, since candle power, not that long ago, to the kind of technology in our time to see beyond there where no one's ever seen. We're very lucky. So that's it, that's as far as we can go, and I have to now reset the light system to enable it all to go back into sync, and I have to come to that area there. So if you stay in this space over here,